Okay, so I hope I was able to make you guys understand what policy and standard means and why knowing all this thing is of utmost importance for any SOC guys with an example where this will be useful. And to be honest, if you have a list of most useful policy or if you have a link to the policy website of your organization, do have a look at that. This will definitely help you in getting out of multiple kind of similar incidents that even I have faced earlier in my career. Okay. Now, going forward, let's talk about what is procedures. Okay, so let's talk about what is procedure from a layman term first. So, procedure is like something like step-by-step instruction for a process. Okay, like let's say how to install and ensure antivirus is working. So, this is a procedure. Okay, so let's say if there's a team who install antivirus on all system, they will have a procedure saying that okay, this is from where you will download the antivirus. This is from where you will supply the license key, and this is from where you will ensure that the antivirus is working. Okay, so these are just like basic terms for procedure. Now let's look at procedure in much more detail. Okay, so procedures are like step by step guides on how to accomplish a certain task. Okay, um, if you are an analyst in a SOC, as you are, you might follow procedure for task like responding to a security incident or analyzing a suspicious network traffic. Okay, so understanding this procedure is crucial actually in kind of doing the job kind of effectively and also ensuring that consistent response is there for similar security issues. So let's say, for example, one of the procedure, let's say you need to kind of investigate an email. Okay, from where that email came up or not. So you have a procedure in place. Okay, you will follow these 10 steps. Let's say you will open the email in a virtual box, you will click on the link from the virtual box. You won't do that from your own laptop because it will kind of have an impact that your own laptop will be infected. For an example, you do that virtually, and you follow these all steps. You detonate the malware. You understand what the malware is doing if it is there in the email. So you follow the procedure step by step and kind of quickly complete your task. So I like to say one example of a real incident. What happened was like when I was working for a company long back. So there was one more team over there which was kind of helping us in kind of handling checking out the emails. Okay, checking out the emails like phishing email and all. And what happened was that that person got almost 10 phishing email to check and let us know if it is suspicious or not. So thing is that while he was checking those 10 emails, the procedure tells that he need to spin up a virtual box and kind of then analyze the thing inside that. There was a phishing email which was actually led to a fake website and fake website of Outlook, which was asking the user for entering the credentials or password. And he actually somehow he opened that link which was present in that email, and somehow he got confused. Okay, he thought that it is something running on in um, virtual box, and he will be kind of supplying a dummy password. But unfortunately, he clicked on that link on his main host, and that website got opened up on his own system. And he was with the intention that whatever he's doing it virtually. So the website that is opened on his own host browser is the correct one. And unfortunately, he entered the password, okay, over there. And as soon as he entered the password in just like, let's say, 10 seconds, there were certain rules that the attacker made on his Outlook, which would kind of forward all the emails that he used to receive to a different email IDs. Okay, so this is something we need to kind of specify how procedure is, why procedure is so much important for any kind of uh, even for the SOC analyst. So even if we are tech savvy, we can sometimes do in a hurricanes, or let's say we have a lot of alerts to check, we can make certain mistake unintentionally. Okay, so we need to kind of be very specific. Okay, we are following the steps one by one, not something we missed out and we end up in a situation which, in a similar situation which I just said about a security employee who shared his password mistakenly to the attacker. Okay, so this is what procedure means. I hope I was able to explain this properly. Interrupt me, guys, whenever you have any questions on these terms. And now let's go to that. Yeah, go on.
Actually, I have a question. I know that it is a future question, but I want to clarify one thing here. So when we are getting some phishing attacks, like some phishing email is there, and one user
Okay.
has been compromised. So when we are checking the logs for other users, like we have to see whether this other users have received the same email. So in that
Mhm.
case, we need to check the logs on the like email gateway that the client location will be handling. So will they give access to that email gateway so that we can look for the logs other users
Okay.
have received?
Yeah. So, thing is that in this kind of scenario, again, it will kind of depend on the organization decision. But normally, thing is that the email handling the email logs is most of the time is handled by a different team. Let's say if one of the company using Outlook, so they will have a Microsoft Exchange team. And the thing is that what you, if there's a team and you don't have the access to log, so what you do is that you do two things. For any phishing email, suppose one of the tasks you need to know is that are there any other employee who have received similar phishing email? You ask those exchange team to give you the list of people who have received similar kind of phishing email, okay, from a specific email id, external email id. Okay, and you also ask them not just the list of user, you also ask them like, tell us those users who have read that email. Okay, because maybe I received that email, but I am, let's say I'm on a vacation, I'm enjoying somewhere in some other place for a month. So even though the mail came to me, the SOC team won't be worried that okay, I have read that email, I have clicked on the link, because that mail came but I've never read that. So so you also need to ask them, okay, the read flag, okay, has that person read that website? So that is one thing. And so that is one thing. And the next thing that you need to do is that you also need to kind of work with the exchange team, okay, and kind of figure out, is there a way going forward with the approval leadership that your team can get access to the logs, access to the logs of the email, so that next time if similar incident happen, you don't need to kind of again ping them, and because it adds a delay, you need to ping them, they will ask some questions, and then there will set an approval chains and all, which will delay the phishing attack activity incident response. Okay, so you need to kind of work upon and kind of figure out if you can take some decision by which let's say you get an approval and you get access to the logs that that exchange team have. So next time when you have similar incident, you don't need to kind of contact the exchange team, you just get an access to the log, and the log will say that okay, these are the emails, these are the users who received this email from this user ID, and these are the emails which has been kind of read by the guys. Okay, so this is something how you will be kind of handling the phishing email going forward. And the other thing is that let's say the phishing email has a specific URL over there. So what you also need to do is you need to kind of do certain checks on the network forensic side. So let's say you convert that URL to an IP address, and then see like who all have visited that website, that IP address, and you also do a DNS query logs. You check that who, which systems had made a DNS logs, DNS query to that domain. Okay, so I'll be kind of discussing this all thing in a network fundamental, what DNS thing mean, what IP address mean, much more detail. But these are the basic details you need to kind of perform for any phishing attack to kind of scope the incident a bit, because thing is that there might be certain situation where let's say the DNS log for a system is not coming to you. Okay, so let's say 100 employees received a phishing email in which let's say you saw a DNS query going to the URL for let's say 20 people. Okay, so you first came up with the answer that okay, only 20 people are really affected because they have visited the website, there are no other people affected. But the thing is that let's think of that maybe the DNS log are not coming to a central platform. In that case, you also need to check at the email logs and see what's the count of people who have actually read that email. So now, since now let's say 80 people from that 100 have read that email. So now you can say that okay, even though maybe you don't have the coverage of the DNS log query for all employees, there is a suspect that all the 80 employees are impacted. Okay, so the scope is now further extended. So it's